What up? What up? What up? We are back in the building, man. I'm so glad to be here with you, man. I'm your host, 007 of the Fifth Ward Boys, or Raw, ready and willing to spread the gospel whenever and wherever. You know what I'm saying? Whenever and wherever. So check this out. Man, I got a special guest today, man. Special guest. But first off, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with my scripture. Second Corinthians. I do this every show. You know how it go. Second Corinthians 5 and 17. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away, and behold, all things have become brand new. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away, and behold, all things have become brand new. Look, man, it's been so good being with you, man, and God has truly blessed us, man, to be here. Just be here, man. It's just a blessing. And we're right here. I'm introducing the show, and we speak liberation, education, and elevation. You know what we do, right? And we're calling this show Breaking the Cycle. Breaking the Cycle. And it's featuring my man A-Rod, Andrew Rodriguez of, I always say Rodriguez wrong, man. I don't know why I do that, because I know my Espanol is más o menos, but overlay me despacio, por favor, But he's of Red Ink, man, clothing, a designer, man, that's hot right now. And we're going to put y'all up on it, man. We're going to put y'all up on it. But I want to get into the meat and potatoes of the man behind Red Ink. And as you see, I got the Red Ink clothing on today. You know what I'm saying? So I got my first sponsor, man. Got my first sponsor. Y'all don't know what that means. It means something big to me. I met this guy, man, one night, man, at a church, and we just sabated off each other, man. We just felt each other's energy. We've been keeping in touch ever since, and I wanted him to tell his story to the people, man. And so, without further ado, man, I'm gonna introduce you. Now, I ain't got the claps yet, but I'm gonna clap by myself. You know what I'm saying? This my man. What up, Andrew?
Hey man, what's going on?
What's
Thanks
up,
for the
bro?
introduction.
Oh yeah, man. Now let me go and get the claps. Cause I gotta get the claps, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't
Right.
that yet, but I'm getting there. You know what I'm saying? I'm
No
getting
doubt,
there.
I appreciate it.
Man, how's your week been, man? How's your week been?
Man, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And I want to tell you, I wanted to thank you for letting me be on this platform. One, because we already looked up to you, and I say we is like my generation. I'm 44.
Amen.
So, we already looked up to you guys and looked up to you for what you were doing already in Houston.
That's
And
what's up.
on that side of the fence, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
The Fifth
yeah.
Ward boys, man, y'all hold it down, man. Y'all 100 all the time. Even
That's what's
even in
up.
y'all lyrics and your lyrics as well, man. Y'all let us know that, man, there is a God and He's first,
Oh
but
yeah.
we had to do
Oh yeah.
this, right? And
Oh yeah.
then to see you transition to this. I still got somebody to look up to, and man, you still a big brother to me, man. You an uncle, you know what I'm
Bless
saying?
God.
And
Bless
I
God.
appreciate what you do, and I thank God that you changed their life because I pray
Thank you.
for yeah, I pray for the people like the rappers I looked up to. Man, I pray for them. I prayed for
Yeah,
DMX
of
before
course.
he left. Like I pray
Of
for
course.
what I'm saying. And a lot of people say, man, you don't even know them people. I said, but God do, and I'm gonna go
Oh
ahead and I'm
yeah.
gonna put their name out
Oh
there.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I'm
man,
praying.
it's an
Yeah.
honor. It's an honor.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Praying for my man Big Pokey's family right now, man. He lost his
Yes,
life.
sir.
And you never know where you're gonna go. You know what I'm
You never
saying?
know.
But you gotta get it
You
right.
know, I just had met him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had met him probably about a month ago, and I gave him a shirt. And
That's
I
what's
seen
up.
him a few times before, but you know how it wasn't right. It wasn't the right time, kind of deal,
Right, right,
And
right.
then, God presented me to talk to him. I said, "Look, man, this is my brand. This is what I represent." He was like, "Yeah, man, I like it." So, I got the okay from, you know what I'm saying? So
That's what's
it,
up.
it,
Yeah,
it's a
he's a good
tragedy.
dude, man. I've been knowing him since the '90s, the early '90s, and we've been rocking ever since. And so, man, I just want to get right into it, Andrew, because I
Yeah,
go on the website. I've seen the website. The world. You know what? I'm gonna put it up here. I'm gonna put it up here. I'm gonna add it to the stream with us. You know what I'm saying? That's the website, man. We're gonna have to go into the website like this, man, and just tell everybody the word is in Red ink, man. The
Yeah,
word
the words is red ink. Yeah,
word
the words
red
is red
ink.
incorporated.
Come, man. You got to come go to this website, man, and check my man out. He got a lot of clothing, man, and it's so dope. But I want to get into some stuff before this. I'm talking about way before
Yeah.
this. And it's looking good. I'm saying
Okay.
I peruse through your Instagram and all that, man. But I
Appreciate
really
it.
want to get into this, right? So
Right.
think about this. Check it out. I want to know about your early life. Your
Okay.
early life. Like you don't have to go back to when you was one. I'm just saying, your early life when you was in your middle school, your teens. You know what I'm saying? Tell me about that life.
Okay. First and foremost, I'm from the southeast side of in Manchester, right?
Right,
And
right.
I grew up. I was nine kids. I was the ninth one. My
Mm,
pops was already older in age, so
right.
he had diabetes. He was always sick, you know,
Mm,
and he ended up being blind. He ended up getting blind and stuff like that. So I was about 8 years old, and a friend of mine, he comes to the house and he's like, "Hey man, I know where to get some cookies and punch." And I said, "Cookies and punch? What's up? Where at? Where do we go?" Right? And he
yeah.
goes, "Church." I said, "Oh man, I ain't finna go to church to get cookies, right?" And he goes,
Yeah.
"No, man." I said, "Okay, well, look, if it's like you say, let's go." And I'll tell my mom to drop us off, and you tell your mom to pick us up. We play that note. And he
Right,
goes,
right.
"Nah, man, they pick us up." I'm like, "They pick us up?" I'm like, "All right, well, cool." So here comes a van, a little van, and guy driving. His name is Santos, right?
Yeah.
And so we go in there, and sure enough, cookies, punch, and we get our fill, right? And I said,
Right.
"All right, so are they gonna drop us all home?" They're like, "No, they're gonna teach us a little bit." So I said, "Oh, okay." I didn't never came from a family where we said we love each other or I love you or anything like that. I mean, it was proven because Pops put the food on the table and clothes on the
Yeah, it
back.
was there. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I understand it was there, but he never said, "I love you, son," or my
Mm,
mom, something like that, right? And uh so anyway, Santos, he started talking about this king, right? And he started talking about how he loves us and this man and how he did this for us and he does that for us and how he died for us. And man, at 8 years old, I was feeling something. And I said,
mm,
"Man, I don't know why I'm crying, but I want to know him." And he
right.
gave us a chance. He was like, "Man, you want to know him?" I said, "Yeah." So I raised my hand and said the sinner's prayer. And after that, like it was just 100. I would go every Wednesday and every Wednesday and every Sunday, right?
That's what's
We'll
up.
get to the preteen. Yeah, get to the preteens. And even though the other kids, like he would drop us off in the van, so we'd be waiting in the van. We'd see the other kids go home with their mom and dad, and
Yeah.
I would see them like, "Man, where we gonna go to eat after this? Hey, son, what'd you learn in Sunday school?" And I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like my
Yeah.
mom's was at the house, my pops was at the house, and that's why I thank God to this day, and I still honor that for doing
That's
that.
what's up, man. That's what's up. Hey, what I want to do, well, let me get back this. I had got a call. I don't know why they broke in like that. But check it out though. This is the real deal. So you was introduced to Christ early, man. Early.
Early when I needed it.
So,
When I needed
yeah.
it.
So then I'm gonna tell you, like, the Bible says, train up a child in the way they should go, and the words will never depart from their heart, right? So
Right.
it's a great thing that you were introduced early. It was the same thing with me. I was introduced early, but the streets was calling me and
Definitely.
I accepted that call. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I want to, because I watch your Instagram, I do my studies on you, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is, it had to be at one time something clicked and landed you in a spot that we all been to that we don't want to go back to. And I want you to tell the
1992.
people, 1992, let me hear about it. Let's go.
1992. I lost
What
my
landed
pops.
you? Oh man.
So I lose my dad. I didn't have a father figure in my life. Even though he was in his bed, sick, he still called the shots around the house. So I still had a man in my life. But when he had
Right.
left, I'm 13, and and I need a man in my life about this time, right? So the neighborhood guys that were older than me, because I'm youngest out of 9, so they knew my dad. He used to go out there play football with them, play ball with them, stuff like that, which I never had
Yeah.
the pleasure of doing. right?
Mm.
So they would always tell me stories about my pops, and a lot of them were on the other side of the track. So they would tell me, man, if you need anything, let me know, because there were D boys that were hustling and stuff
Right,
like
right,
that.
right.
Now, a lot of people say, they didn't love you. They put drugs in your hand. But a lot of people don't understand that used to mean love to us. Like if we were getting out of jail and like my homeboy, he's on. So what you say that
Right,
he's on because
right.
he got money from selling dope and he's ready to put like a half a bird or a couple of pounds in our hands. The average person will be like, he doesn't love you. But that's
Yeah,
how
we
we
think,
see the love.
yeah,
We didn't
that's
know
us. Yeah,
we didn't know how to love each other. So to
yeah,
us,
that's right.
I understood that was love. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So long story short, I took some people on their offer and I started hustling and we started doing a thing. You know what I mean? They showed me how to do this, that, and the other, right?
right,
Become a
right.
small chemist.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I know some pharmacists.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then, high school came, the women came, more money came, more connections came. And me and my mom used to do, she used to be my crime partner. You know what I mean?
Mm.
She would bring people in from Mexico and I was selling dope. And that's how we put our money together. Okay, we got to pay this rent, we got to pay this bill, we got to do this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So she was into not black magic, but she was into like the tarot cards and stuff like that.
Mm.
So one day I know I'm doing wrong because I've been to church. I know all the scriptures and everything, right? So I say, hey, man, why don't we start, going to church? And she didn't think that was a great idea. And so I said, well, you know what? Full throttle all the way to the street, all the way.
Mm.
I got
Mm.
so bad that I pushed her to God. Like one night, like one day I'm coming home and it's like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. I'm coming home while everybody else is getting up. You know that life.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when I'm getting home, I see my mom and she's kind of like in her room quiet and she's like in the corner somewhere, right? So I look and I said, man, I don't want to bug her, but I wonder what she's going through, man. I don't know what she's doing. So anyway, I go to sleep. I wake up later on that day and I asked her, I said, hey, mom, what were you doing in the room? And she goes, I was praying. And I said, you were
Mm.
praying? I said,
Mm.
what were you praying about? And she goes,
Yeah.
I was praying for you. And I
Mm.
said, all right. Because she seen, like, it spooked her how bad I was going, like
Right.
slippery slope.
Yeah, you
Then I get
was
tried
head
as an adult.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get tried as an adult for some crack, right? And I go do that bit. I get probation. I go back, violation. I come back out. And now I'm in and out since I'm 17, right?
Yeah.
And I'm in and out. I ain't learned nothing. I ain't. Then one day I started telling people, hey man, one day I'm gonna change. I said, you better come get this dope now, because one day I'm gonna
Yeah.
change. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I would always say that. But one day I'm at the crack house, right? And I'm hustling. And for those that don't know, I got some dope and I was gonna sell it and I was gonna make so much off of it, and then I was gonna quit the game. Like I was gonna be
Right.
done. I ain't gonna do that no more. So I'm at the dope house and something just started calling me. Like something hard, it just wasn't right. Something ain't right. And I said, you know what? I told a friend of mine, I said, look, man, you sell this, give me this is off of that, and then we're good. And he's like, man, what are you doing, man? It's pumping right now. Like you can make every bit of
Right.
that money. And I said, man, just give me this off it and we're good. So I end up leaving. It's about 2, 3 in the morning, right? We in the neighborhood. And I'm underneath the street light, right? And I yell. And I'm a big guy, so I talk loud already. So I yell at the top of my lungs. I yell, Jesus,
Mm.
if you're real, show me. I
Amen.
go down the street. I bend the corner. I mean, and dogs are. I start waking up the neighborhood.
Right.
Lights come
Right.
on. Who's this? What is it? So I
Yeah.
turn the corner and I see a friend of mine. And he said, hey, man, Drew, what's up? I'm like, hey, what's up? He goes, I said, man, what are you doing? He goes, man, I'm helping Santos move. Remember? He used to pick you up to church. And I said,
Mm.
yo, just pray, right? Well, the Bible says you call on the name of the Lord and he will answer. And
And
if you look up Paul, it's yell, summon, scream, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? All these,
All
right?
that. Yeah.
So I yelled at the top of and he heard me. And after that, like I always say freaky stuff, like freaky things started happening to me where he was calling me and he was calling me. I mean, it would happen so crazy. I'd be like, oh man, it was so
Right.
tripped out. And one time It happened while it was a summer, and I was gonna go to a barbecue. So I'm at the mall and I'm gonna pick up, some Ralph Lauren or an outfit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I can go
yeah.
to barbecue fresh. So I'm doing that, and I'm telling you, God used to call. He was calling me so much. I used to tell him, "Leave me alone." Right.
Mm.
So I'm looking at the outfits, and I hear a girl in back of me, a girl and a guy. They're passing, and she was singing this song we used to sing when we were kids at the church. And I'm like, oh, here we go. And she's like, this is the day. This is the day, right? So I'm
That the
like,
Lord has made.
no doubt, right? So I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm not looking. I'm not looking. And the Holy Spirit
right,
says, look, I'm not doing it. I came to get an outfit. I'm gonna go to this barbecue. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, right?
right.
And the Holy Spirit won. And I said, God, leave, man. So I turn around and I look, and on his shirt, keyword, on his clothes, there is a
Mm.
hand with a nail print, and it said,
Mm.
choose today who you will serve.
Choose
So,
ye this day.
right. So I said, golly. So I go to him. I said, look, man, y'all got something to tell me. I mean, you remember, it was happening frequently. I got stories after story about
Right,
it.
right.
So it was happening so much. I'm like, oh, just get it over with. Tell me what you got to say. And she's puzzled, and he's puzzled. And she's like, well, she lets out a sign. He's waiting for you.
Mm.
And I said, that's it? And she's like, I guess. And I said, all right, I'm gone. And I left. I'm telling you story after story like this, right? Call on the name of the Lord and he's going to answer. That's a guarantee. So he was
That's right.
answering. So I was running all this time. Go in and out the penitentiary the first time. And then my second time was my last time. I signed for 15 years, aggravated. And I did 8.5 flat.
Mm.
On my 5th year, now I'm contemplating. And I know it took me 5 years to start thinking, right?
Yeah.
A lot of old schools used to tell me, get in my ear, hey, boy, you doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You know what I'm saying? You got a chance. You got this. You got that. And I remember these people. I still write people in jail anyway. So,
Yeah.
so my mom comes to see me. And you know how they give you like, okay, they knock at the table. You got a few minutes to say your goodbyes and then you're gone,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we're saying our goodbyes after a visit. And I said, hey, Mom, let me ask you something. She goes, what? I said, you still pray? And she goes, every day and every night. I said,
Mm.
all right. I said, hey, Ma, you still pray for me? And she says, every day and every night.
Mm.
And I said, Ma, it's working. I said,
That's
keep
what's
on.
up.
I said, it's working. I said,
Mm.
keep on. I said, it's working.
That's
So
what's
I go back to my cell and I look up. I said, I give up.
Mm.
I said, I give up.
And
I
that's
said,
one of
you got
those what we call life-changing moments. It's
hey,
one of those
man,
life-changing moments.
if I ever knew, what the prodigal son was going through, I knew that day. I
Mm.
came to myself and
That's
I
what's
said, you know
up.
what, I'm done. Now, I didn't start going to the church house or nothing like that, but I started reading the word. I started praying real tough. I
Mm-hmm.
come up with my first parole, denied. Okay, cool. I didn't think I was going to get it anyway. Second one, I'm coming up, and this was my prayer. I said, Lord, I've been in and out of jail since I was 17.
Mm.
I've been tried as an adult. I said, it hurts my mom and everybody that I love double when I come back. I said, if I'm not ready to go, don't let me go.
Mm.
Like, don't let me make parole. I'd rather
Mm.
stay another year until I'm ready. That's why I tell like mothers, they're like, Andrew, can you pray for my son? I said, are you sure you want me to do that?
Yeah, because that's something that his will is something. And you
Right.
might
So I
not
said,
be ready for that will. Yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the enemy would love to see him free so he can get into more stuff and go back.
Right,
But
right.
God will keep him there. So are you sure you want me to pray for him? Because I was willing to say another 2 years, another 3 years, another 4 years. Let your will be done.
Right,
Right.
right.
And that was my mindset. And guess what? He went ahead and saw fit that I was coming home. And he
Mm.
saw fit that I was ready to go. So I was scared. I was
Mm.
scared to come out. I was scared for parole. I made it. And, so what I did was I called my mentor, Santos, the one that used to pick me up when I was a kid.
Los
I made
Santos.
parole. I made parole. I said, I don't know what to do next. So the next letter he writes me back, he goes, I want you to come out and sit under a man. His name is Dr. Gary Alanis. His name was Gary Alanis first. He got his doctorate later. But he goes, Gary Alanis, he started a church and it's named Kingdom Living. He goes, I want you to go there. I want you to meet him. I want you to sit under him. So that was the last instruction from one mentor when I was a kid. And then now I got out, I met him, and he's been my father ever since. He is my pappy. He is my mentor. The church now is Church 633.
Okay.
And all my life, I needed a man. I was always a daddy's boy, right? And when daddy left, I looked for another daddy. And then when these daddies were getting locked up and going to jail, I was looking for another daddy. I never looked from the daddy of daddies. You know what I mean?
You know, it's so crazy because all of us have a hole, a God-sized hole in us that only God can fulfill. And so these mentors that come into our life, good mentors, not, you know, because we have other kind of mentors too.
Right.
But those good mentors, and see how that came all full circle with Santos, you know, from back when you was 8, 9, 10 years old, then now getting out of prison when you really needed it, God just put it right in your way. Like here, now I watered this seed. I'm gonna send you over here, get under this man right here, and you know, the doctor, you get up under him, and you finna see yourself flourish. And man, your story is kind of like mine, and because I was in church first, and then I went to the streets, and then penitentiary. I was saved inside too. I had a dream. It almost happened just like yours. And when I came out, I made a covenant with God, right?
Right.
I mean, before I came out, I was like, God, if you let me out of here, you know, man, I'm gonna serve you. I'm gonna do this, but really, I'm gonna be real honest. And this is the honest moment, Drew. I came to God out of fear, just to tell you the truth.
Okay.
Because the dream I had, God told me, if you don't do my will, something bad is going to happen to you for a long time. I didn't know if it was jail or if it was death. I just didn't want it. And I said, well, I'm going to give my life to you. And I do that. But when I got
take door
out,
number one.
Right. But when I got out, I studied the word, you know, I was feeding on it, and I got some good brothers to hold me accountable, and I got in a good church, you know, and I saw how much he loved me, how much he died for me, how much, you know, I saw that, and I say, no, I got to give my life to him. I love, you know, because now I know. Now I want that hunger for more. And just like Santos, man, but we got to recognize those kind of people, and you got to be humble. You got to be humble to know. Like me, I'd be like, oh man, you know, back in the days. But now I'm humble enough to know, you know what I'm saying? That's God in human form talking through that man. It's talking about that man. But I want to ask you, now we know your life-changing moment. You out now. What made you go into designing clothing? You know.
So okay, so since, when I was a kid, you know, there was a bunch of kids. There was all of us there, so I didn't get as many toys as, you know. So what I started doing was I started getting creative and started making my own like ninja suits and ninja this. So I was cutting fabric and I was cutting and put it on, right? So I could go outside and play. I made a Batman suit. I was always making stuff like that, right? Then with the breakdancing days, you know, in the 80s, I would see these B-boys and all these other kids were like, man, look what he's driving. I'm like, man, look what he's wearing. You know what I mean? Like, the track suits, and they had the jewelry, and man, look what he's wearing. So I was always more aiming towards like you know, fashion. I would see Biggie come out, and man, I'm a big guy, so when he was big too, but he had the swag, right?
Right.
And even like other, but like Pac and everything, when he would wear them suits and stuff like that, it was always real cool to me.
Yeah.
So, and then, like I said, that guy's shirt spoke to me,
Mm,
right? That he had the handprint right there, and it
right.
spoke to me. It spoke volumes to me. So if I can talk to people through clothing, which I know we can, why can't I talk to them about Jesus' blood and what he did for us through clothing? I don't even
Mm,
have to, excuse me, are you saved and sanctified or anything like that? Do you know God? Do you know Jehovah? I know I'm not making fun of nobody. I'm just saying,
yeah,
right?
I know what you're saying.
If that's not my lane to do that, what
Mm,
if this is my lane? And
right.
then every time we pass, they already bought a few joints of mine, and they already bought a hat there. And then they ask later, "Hey man, what does this even mean anyway?" I'm shrewd as
Mm,
a snake, gentle as the dove. It's already too
yeah.
late. I got you.
Yeah.
And then like everybody says like the logo. What does the logo mean? It means hope. Because when I was in that penitentiary and I was going through what I was going through, I would read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. If you see my penitentiary Bible, you remember when you go to in the county like Franklin and you know
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if
301. Yeah.
you go to church 3 times, they'll give you a free Bible.
Right.
So
Right.
the old school told me, man, go to church 3 times, get you a Bible, and start writing people's numbers and addresses. So when you go to the
Yeah. Yeah.
penitentiary, you
Yes, your book.
right? That's
Yeah.
all you can take, the Bible. So I
Right.
did that. And I ended up reading Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. If you see the Bible, I should have had it here. It's all tattered where the Gospels are at. That's where the
Right.
words in red were at. And I
Mm,
would go over the words in red every day for years. You can't miss me on the Gospel, right?
right.
So I'm reading it over and over and over for years. And that's what brought hope to me. I seen the light at the end of the tunnel. And the words in red is what gave me hope. So it was only right that I would name it the Words in Red Incorporated because
That's it.
it's red ink that they typed it with, right? But
Right.
somebody used INK, so I put that's all right. I'm gonna put incorporated so I can still say ink,
Mm,
and then you
mm,
know what I mean. And
yeah.
and when people think red ink, well, what is that? And I'm like, okay, well, it's from the Bible. I don't want it. But if I say red incorporated, they might think I'm a blood or something and be
Yeah.
like, oh, it's streetwear. It's hot. I'm gonna buy it anyway. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
But see, that's the thing about that red ink. When I saw it, I was like, man, that's dope right there. I see the play on words, and then because we always talk about the red letters, the red,
right.
so and when I saw the Instagram, I was like, man, this is dope. And then I saw the clothing, quality clothing, looked like the fabric, man, was just dope. Then when I
Are you
received my
liking it? Are
package,
you liking it?
yeah, when I received my package, I was like, yeah, okay, that's what I'm talking about. So my thing is we have to put, emphasis on guys like you that's pushing the gospel
Right.
in the clothing world, right?
Right.
Because there's so many people doing demonic stuff in clothing
Yeah.
that, yeah, that,
Yeah.
hey man, why can't we let our light shine?
That's what I'm
So because
saying.
because you giving a shirt to somebody, they don't even know. You don't even have to say nothing. They just took home with them and got in their closet. God is in that shirt, is in their closet right now.
And it's in their home. Yeah. And a lot of
That's
people
it.
tell me when I wear your gear, when I wear your stuff, man, it's always a good day. It better be you
That's it.
covered by the blood. When
That's it.
when I wear your hats, it feels like I
Yeah.
have other different thoughts. You better be. I'm
Man,
covering your
God
mind.
is good.
You
God
know
is
what I
good,
mean? And then
man.
you got other companies that do T-shirts, like you said, the demonic stuff. And
Yeah,
it used to be they would just have like Aleister Crowley on there, knowing that he
right.
did the Satanic Bible. Today they just put Satan.
Yeah,
They
it's
don't
just
even
blatant.
care
It's
anymore.
just a blatant
It's so
thing now.
blatant now.
Yeah. So we can be
And
blatant
even
too.
exactly. And I'm gonna fight too. And if y'all gonna swing, I'm gonna swing. I know it's a fight. And not to bring up your past, but your music in the past was even looking for hope.
Right.
You
So
know what I'm
that what I
saying?
that what I say, even our first song was called Thanks for the Blessing.
You're right.
Even though we was on Rap a Lot, we were like, man, we gotta do a song to thank God for this blessing, to give us this hope to get out of the ghetto. That was our thinking. Now we were stupid and doing other stuff, but if you would listen, every Fifth Ward Boy album, we had a mama's praying every day and every night. She can't sleep right because my life ain't right. And it's a shame what I put my mama through after all she done been through. What the hell these streets got me up to. So we had those songs that, we're going to show you the gritty part of the hood, but then we can show you that, hey man, this, you could end up like this. And really, I'm searching for something, really. So I'm coming full circle. My first video, thanks for the blessing. Then the end of my career, and I wasn't ending it because I could have did what I wanted to do. I said, no, I'm not gonna. I got kids, man, and they look up to me. I got a little boy, and that little boy look at me, man. If he see me go do PWA somewhere, all he gonna say is, man, you ain't real, man. You lied, man. You said you was gonna be a God, man. I thought you was real, And they for real with it. So I gotta be real with them. I gotta be real. I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to embarrass the gospel. I don't want to embarrass my family. So that's why this clothing line, man, is one of the ones that I'm going to support and always support, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Now I always do this at the end. I get my last thoughts, right?
Okay.
So the name of this is called Breaking the Cycle, and you went from meeting Santos, you know what I'm saying, getting cookies and juice, you know what I'm saying, in church, to selling crack, you know what I'm saying, just to be real, selling dope, and then going to prison, and then finding God, because we didn't find God. God found us because God ain't lost. We was the lost one.
Right.
So you gave your life to Christ in prison, came out, and now you're doing things, man, for God that God don't need our help. But the thing about it is you representing him in a great way, and I salute you, my brother. I salute you. I want your last thoughts on breaking the cycle, because we talked to the guys. This show is for the guys that were in prison that's trying to navigate this world out here. I had a guy call me yesterday. He was talking about, man, these cell phones, man, I just can't figure this out, man.
I know it.
He telling me that. So how did you navigate? Your last thoughts on how you navigated when you got out, and how can they navigate to not conform to this world, but to live in this world and not be of the world, but in the world?
Don't give up. Don't give up. You slip and fall, okay, Sunday's church. You slip and fall, okay, Wednesday. And that's what the best advice that I ever got was from a homeboy, Modesto. I said, man, how do you live this life? Like, how do you do it? He says, don't stop. Don't give up. And plenty of times I wanted to stop, but you know what? I didn't. I hunkered down, and I said, I wouldn't give up before.
That's it.
On anything else I did. So I got to keep going. I just got to, and stay around the people that really love you. All those letters and stuff like that, pull those out again. And those are the people. Get surrounded by them, of the people that really love you. That's and just be that, and just be as real as you can be. Hey, you fail, admit it, and ask for help.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, you fail. Okay, you think I'm gonna judge you? I'm struggling too. It's a struggle.
That's right.
Hey, I'm gonna have to call my homeboy. Hey, man, I'm struggling. Like plenty of times when I had just got out, I would call my partners that in the church house. Remind me who I am. Remind me who I am.
That's it.
I'm beginning to forget.
That's it right there. Baptize me again.
Yeah. And then you were king, you were this, and then I'm just like, and I roar, and until I roar, I'm good now, brother. Appreciate it. And then go right back to the grind. This is what reminds me, you're a champion.
Man, that's a great last thought, to not give up, to keep going. It reminds me of a guy out of Beaumont. He called me this was about 7 years ago, but I always remember this. And so he called me, and he was like, man, Double O, man, I feel like giving up. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I give up every day.
Yeah.
I say, it's new mercies every morning. God
Mm-hmm.
is giving you new mercies every morning. Don't give up. So your last words about don't give up, keep going, don't ever give up, right? Just
The
don't look
road.
back. Don't look back.
Yeah.
That mirror, don't look at that rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Look in that big old window right
Right.
there. You looking at that big window. You know what I'm saying? So, man, thank you. Thank you for being on the
Interesting.
show, man. You encourage me, man, because and tell you the truth, I had me a little clothing line at one time, but
Okay. Okay.
I didn't follow through with it. You know what I'm
We need
saying?
to
One day,
collaborate. Let's
yeah, one
collaborate.
day it might come back though. But man, I've been doing this media stuff and I really like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
man, I thank you, A Rod, man. I just call you A Rod. I'm sorry, man.
That's all right.
I
That's all right.
thank you,
That's all right.
dog,
Appreciate it.
because you are one of the unsung heroes out here, man. And like I say, Red Ink, man. So go to my man website, check it out, man. He's got all this stuff, man. You got to check his website out. Give him the website again, man.
We could actually look me up because we're redoing the website and I got a lot of new stuff coming out for
Okay.
the summer and for the fall. So look me
Okay.
up in Instagram, and that's
Okay.
Red Ink underscore 713. That's REDINC underscore 713. You can message if you want, man. I'll answer back.
Man, that's what's up, man. It was so good to have you, dog. Man,
Man, I
God
appreciate
bless
it.
you,
Thank
man.
you.
God bless you. I want you to stay on. I'm gonna take you off, and then I'm finna send them off and put them to bed. But I just want you to hang on though. Just hang
Okay,
on.
I'm here. I'm here.
Salute, brother. I love you. That was my man, Andrew Rodriguez, man, doing his thing with Red Ink, man. And I'm telling you, go to his Instagram page, man, and check him out, man. We need to support our people, man. We doing our thing, man. Support our people. And man, like I always say, leave your comments, man. Leave your comments, man. Go to Spotify podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Samsung Podcast, and our YouTube page. Man, we love y'all, man. We love y'all so much. The Progression Podcast, where we talk liberation, education, and elevation. Like I say, I was liberated from the streets, I was educated in the penitentiary, and when I gave my life to Jesus Christ, I was elevated, right? So, man, we love y'all. We thank y'all, man. And like I say on everyone, I say, don't let your yesterday kill your tomorrow, and God can blow your mind only if you let him.